destination is complete blank with no users at the moment. Okay, cloud booting, no users at the moment, right? Perfect. So now, the first thing first, what we need to do is we need to create an application. Okay, that will be performed in the destination.